Hey everyone, it's Mr. Clutch here, and today I'm going to do the hindsight recap on a video. Just kind of walk through. We had a nice trend day today, so I thought it might be useful to kind of talk through all the plays and what opportunities were on the chart today. Keep in mind, this is a hindsight recap, so we're looking at what the perfect plays might have been had you played the chart perfectly. So we're using what we already know to go back and look at it to break down and see where the best plays were. So. I've already got the zones marked here, and you'll see as we're coming out of the pre-market here, we're hitting our head here on the zone, and we're basing right under it. As we open, we're kind of stuck under it, still hitting on it a little. We go into the zone, leak back out. EMAs are bunched up here. As we get through the EMAs, we push back to the top of the zone, and we come back to the 13, and we're kind of just pinballing here between the 13 and the top of that zone. So I guess you could draw a trend line here. I don't like this. I want to clear this zone because as this is breaking here, we're right at where we've been hitting our head here. So I kind of want to wait and see. I want to get out of that zone, and then we can find a play back. So the first thing we're looking at is right here. This is a perfect flag back to the 13. We've cleared the zone. We're getting decreasing volume into this, and we're breaking out, pushing off the 13. It held really well, and you could take an entry somewhere here and ride this up. So it's going to be short-lived though. You'd probably be a quick scalp here if you can get a little bit out of it. Maybe you move your stop up and get hit at break even. Maybe you get 10-20% out of it, and with a trailing stop here. So not the final move we were looking at, but a nice little scalp potential there. So this next trend line here, I'll zoom in on it. This is a nice trend line. This is one of my favorite kind of trend lines here. We built it with these first two wicks, so it's already built out. And you'll see we touched this trend line 5 times within 6 or 7 candles. So we come in through here, we drop back through the EMAs back into our zone. So we're kind of just waiting. This trend line's already built out as we're watching this. And here we come back to it. We knife through the EMAs out of the top of the zone. We push through our trend line. We're getting volume picking up here. This is your entry right here. So you could have entered here on a 409 call around 45 to 50 cents probably, and that would have been it. You zoom back out in the end of the day, you could have entered right there. You know, if you had a tight trailing stop, you'd have got hit here, but if not, this thing goes all the way to 450 or 470, something like that by the end of the day. That's a 10x move. So granted, you'd have probably been pretty responsible in taking some profit and not letting this come back too much on you here, but there's not much to scare you out after that. You got a little close here below 13, and I mean that's really it to all the way up here. So in hindsight, man, this could have been a move. You latch onto that and you're done for the day. So but if you don't catch that one, we've got one more spot right here. This is pretty steep here. And you know, we're coming through here, and if you look here, you got volume coming down, and yeah, I guess we would have had this up a little. So you may have tried to get in here on this wick as it's pushing up, and if you did, it's not the worst thing. You wouldn't have been stopped out here. So but if you held off just to the close of this candle, you're probably moving your trend line right to there. And then we're coming back through here. We've got a pretty low volume here, but here we go. Little wick off the trend line at 13. You're probably entering right here. If I remember right, this is like a 75-cent entry, so still you're going from 75 to 450 or 460, something like that on this move. And with you know, you may have thought about, you know, keeping a pretty tight stop as this is flattening out here for that next move, but ultimately that's where you could have gotten a really big move there and rode it up the rest of the day. Couple other opportunities here you might have looked at, because you know we didn't get a lot of good flags back here. There were some little ones, but you're probably not wanting to get in on any of these. You could have looked at this here. My thought is though, as you're getting here, see this wick right here that goes up to the top of the zone, super high volume. That might have been our highest volume candle of the day. Yeah, that was the highest volume candle, except for on the first maybe one or two in the first 30 minutes that were higher. So that's telling me there's some, you know, this is going to be tough to get over. So I may wait and go back to what we said at the first one. We want to clear this zone before we think about taking anything else. So probably wait there. And then you can kind of look at something. There's a few other ways you could try to make something work here. This doesn't look half bad, but you're getting pretty late in the day. You could do something like that. Maybe write it up here, and there's still a little meat left on the bone around in here. But if you're getting late in the day, in hindsight, hopefully you've made your all your money right through here, up in maybe you're still riding runners through here, so you wouldn't have to look at these. But there was still a little opportunity for scalps there. So, anyways, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully this was helpful, and I look forward to doing more of these in the future. Thanks.